Hi students, welcome to our channel. So in previous class we have been discussed regarding the concept of parallelogram law of vectors and then some applications which we have been discussed. So in this class we are going to discuss regarding resolution of a vector into three components, directions of cosine and some numericals which we are going to discuss in this class. So first we are going to discuss regarding the concept of resolution of a vector. So resolution of vector. In previous class also we have been discussed regarding the resolution of a vector in case of two dimension. But now we are going to discuss regarding three dimension. So for this, which we can take in three dimension. So this is along x-axis and then this one along z-axis, which I can take, and then this one I can take here as a y-axis. So how we can consider this means we can take as our room. So if you have been seen one corner, we can see x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. In that room we are considering one vector. That one vector is nothing but which I can take here as like this. This is a vector A which we can take. So this is in the form of a cube shape. That means this A vector can be resolved into three components. That along x-axis, that component we can take it as AX vector. Along y-axis, that component which I can take here as AY vector. Why I am telling AY vector? Because it is having both magnitude and direction. So in the same way for z-axis, which you can take here as a AZ vector. So in order to obtain this, so how we can resolve one vector into three components means that into three components as like this, which I can write here as A vector is equals to component along x-axis, that is AX vector, plus AY vector plus AZ vector, that which is having both magnitude and direction. This component is along x-axis, this component is along y-axis, this component is along z-axis. In this case we are using a unit vector. So unit vector which we are using. So that unit vector which you can take it as I cap, j cap and k cap. This I cap represents along x-axis, this j cap represents along y-axis, and this k cap represents along z-axis. By default we are taking as I cap, j cap and k cap. So now how we can write this A vector means this A vector which you can write here as, so AX is the magnitude of that vector I cap plus AY into j cap plus so AZ into k cap. So in this way which we can write the vector in three components along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So what about its magnitude? This magnitude is nothing but magnitude of A vector is equals to a root of AX square plus AY square plus AZ square, which we are going to get. So this is the magnitude. So in previous class we have been said that A vector can be resolved into two components along x-axis and along y-axis. Now here we are having three components. So this x and y you have been taken means how they are means they are perpendicular with each other. they are perpendicular with each other. The resultant which we are going to get here as like this. So this will be the resultant vector by using parallelogram law of vectors, which we can get. So this is nothing but, which we can take it as ax vector plus ay vector. So this, it will be the parallel. So if this is parallel means, so same it will be there, that's which can act as a az vector. So here x and y resultant we are getting, that we are adding with respect to z. So in such a case we are going to get this equation, or by default we can write this as three vectors as three horizontal component vectors as along x axis, y axis and z axis as like this. So this is a vector and this is a magnitude. So magnitude of a vector. Okay, next one is direction cosine. Direction cosine. So here you have been taken a one vector, that one vector which you have been resolved into three components. So if this is a one vector which I have been taken here as a vector, this a vector which is resolving into three components as a x-axis, this as a y-axis, and then this as a z-axis. That this vector a vector which will makes an angle with respect to x-axis, that I can take here as alpha, a vector which makes an angle with respect to y-axis as a beta, and then the angle made by a vector with respect to z-axis as gamma. Here we should have to consider this in case of 3 dimension. Then only you can obtain this gamma value. Alpha and beta we can get very easily, but gamma means in 3 dimension, which you should have to assume. So this alpha, beta and gamma, which they are making an angle. Here cosine. So the angle made by a vector with respect to x-axis, that cos alpha. So cos alpha is equals to, what we can write, adjacent side by hypotenuse. Here hypotenuse is a, adjacent side along x-axis, that component is nothing but, which you can take it as a ax, that which you can get here as ax by a in terms of magnitude. So in the same way cos beta, that cos beta which you can write here as ay by a, and then cos gamma is equals to az by a. Here a means nothing but modulus of a, magnitude which we should have to find. So this cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma, which you can call it as direction cosines, which you can get. So with the help of this, which you can write here as L square plus m square plus n square is equals to 1. This I can consider, we can take it as L, m and n. So with the help of this, cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equals to 1, we should have to prove. So ax square by a square plus ay square by a square plus az square by a square. So in this case, which I can take a denominator will be the same, which is nothing but a square. So we can get here as ax square plus ay square plus az square. So just now only we have been discussed, magnitude of a vector is equals to root of ax square plus ay square plus az square. Squaring on both sides, we can get here as a square is equals to ax square plus ay square plus az square. Finally, we can get here as az square by a square by a square, they will get cancelled. We can get the obtained answer as 1. In similar manner, we can write here as sin square alpha plus sin square beta plus sin square gamma is equals to 2. How we can prove this? Here, so what we know, cos square alpha plus sin square alpha is equals to 1. That is cos square theta plus sin square theta equals to 1. Here I am taking alpha. With the help of this, I can write here as sin square alpha is equals to 1 minus, I need a cos square value. So cos square alpha is equals to 1 minus sin square alpha. Instead of cos square alpha, I can write here as 1 minus sin square alpha. So with this equation, I can obtain here as 1 minus sin square alpha. In the same way, beta 1 minus sin square beta. In the same way, gamma 1 minus sin square gamma, which is equals to 1. Already we have been proved. Here 1 plus 1 plus 1, 3. If it move toward this side, 3 minus 2, 2. Sin square alpha plus sin square beta plus sin square gamma is equals to 2, which you can obtain. Okay, ma. Next question. The direction cosines of I cap, j cap plus k cap are. Here they are asked direction cosines. Just now only you have been discussed. So we are having cos alpha. Cos alpha is equals to ax by a. In the same way, cos beta is equals to ay by a, and then cos gamma is equals to az by a. So let us consider this as a vector. So a vector is equals to, I can take it as I cap plus j cap plus k cap. Here I, j, k, they have been given, means here we can take here as 1 1 1. 1 into I cap is nothing but I cap on. So with the help of this, I can write here as ax is equals to 1, so ay is equals to 1, and then az is equals to 1. Next, here what this a represents? This a is nothing but modulus of a vector. So that which is nothing but root of ax square plus ay square plus az square. So we can obtain here as square means 1 square means 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is nothing but a is equals to root 3. So we have been obtained ax, ay and az, and then a also. They are asked to find direction cosines cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. So cos alpha is equals to ax 1 by root 3. So next one is cos beta is equals to 1 by root 3. And then cos gamma is equals to 1 by root 3. So answer is, the resultant of two forces whose magnitudes are in the ratio of 3:5 is 28 newtons. If the angle of their inclination is 60 degrees, then find the magnitude of each force. Here inclination means which is nothing but angle between them. Here resultant of two forces, magnitude in the ratio they have been given. So ratio means which I can take here as forces. Two forces they have been given. So I can take here as F1 by F2 is equals to, so 3 by 5. This which is nothing but So F1 is to F2 is equals to 3 is to 5 you can take. With the help of this, F1 by F2 is equals to 3 by 5, which we can write. With the help of this, I can write here as, so F1 is equals to, so 3 by 5 into F2 which I can get. Okay. Then here resultant of these two, which they have been given here as R is equals to 28 newtons. And angle between them is nothing but theta is equals to 60 degrees. Now what we should have to find out? We should have to find the magnitude of each force, F1 and F2, which we should have to find. So from parallelogram law of vectors, so R is equals to root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2F1 F2 cos theta. We know R value, F1, F2, and then theta value, which we can substitute. So R value is 28 and F1 is equals to 3 by 5 into F2. So 3 by 5 into F2 whole square plus F2 square plus 2F1 is equals to 3 by 5 into F2 cos 60 degrees, which we can get. So what's the value of cos 60? Cos 60 value, so cos 60 degrees, which is equals to 1 by 2. So with the help of this 28, I can write this as 9 by 25, which is nothing but F2 square plus F2 square plus 2 into 3 by 5 F2 square cos 60 value is 1 by 2. So for all this root, which we can get. So 2 gets cancelled. So with the help of this, which I can take out common as a F2. F2 have been taken out means, so we can write this as otherwise. So which we can get 28 is equals to F I have been taken out as a common like this, which I am going to get. This is nothing but 9 by 25. Here only F only have been taken out common, so which is nothing but plus 1 plus 3 by 5. So for all this root will be there. So 28 is equals to, sorry, this is F2 value. So F2 by taking LCM, which you can get here as 25, that is 9 plus 25 plus here 5, so which is nothing but 5 into 3, 15, which we are going to get. So 28 is equals to, so F2 into root of, here we have been added, means how much you will get, which is nothing but 49 by 25. So 49 root how much, which is nothing but F2 is equals to 7 by 5. So with the help of this F2 I can get here as F2 is equals to, which is nothing but 28 into 5 by 7, 7 1 7 4s. So F2 value is nothing but 20. So F2 is equals to 20. So if F2 value is 20, then F1 value. So F1 is equals to 3 by 5 into F2. F2 value is 20. So 5 1 5 4s. So 4 3 is a 12. So F1 is equals to 12 newtons. In this way, which we can find the F1 and F2 values. Next question. A unit vector in the direction of resultant vector of A vector minus 2i cap plus 3j cap plus 4k cap, and B vector I cap plus 2j cap minus 4k cap is. They have been given 4 options which you should have to find. Here they have been given resultant vector. So resultant, which is nothing but plus. So here I can take here as answer as, so R vector is equals to, which I can get here as A vector plus B vector. This is clear. But what they asked here, they asked the unit vector. So we are discussing the unit vector definition whose magnitude is equals to 1. So with the help of this, which you have been put here as R cap is equals to R vector by modulus of R vector. That means first we should have to find R vector, then modulus of R vector. So with the help of this, here R vector is nothing but A vector plus B vector. So which we can add in simple in manner addition. So that minus 2i cap plus 3j cap plus k cap. If you want means you can write by this side also, or you can write bottom. So I am writing here this as a vector. So next one as a B vector. So B vector is nothing but I cap plus 2j cap minus 4k cap. Simply by adding this, which we can get the answer. That's which is nothing but here resultant vector plus that R vector is equals to minus 2i I. Here direction is also important, that which we are going to get here as minus I cap. So 3 plus 2, because they are in same direction along y axis. In the same way here nothing is there means 1 minus 4k, which is nothing but minus 3k cap. Now I have been obtained R vector. So next, modulus of R vector. Modulus of R vector, which is equals to root of ax square plus ay square plus az square. Here rx square plus ry square plus rz square. So with the help of this, minus 1 whole square plus 5 whole square plus minus 3 whole square, which I can get here as modulus of R vector is equals to root of 1 plus 25 plus 9 plus 1 10, which is nothing but 35. So magnitude we have been obtained here as root 35. So with the help of this definition, we can write here as R cap is equals to R vector, which is nothing but minus I cap plus 5j cap minus 3k cap by R vector. R vector is nothing but root 35. So this is the answer. So here plus 2i, which is wrong. So minus 3i, which is wrong. Here plus I is also wrong. So because here we are having both magnitude and direction. Okay, next question. Maximum and minimum of resultant of two vectors of p and q are found to be 3:1. So which of the following relation is true? So this is very simple. So here, so just now only you have been discussed what is R maximum, what is R minimum. So first they have been given R maximum and then R minimum. So R minimum, the resultant of the two vectors of p and q, they are in the ratio of 3:1, that which is nothing but 3/1. So that's I can write here as like this: R maximum is to R minimum, which is equals to 3:1. With the help of that, which we can write. But what we know, so R maximum, when we are going to get R maximum, so which is nothing but, so p plus q. So R minimum, whenever they are anti-parallel, that's which is nothing but, so p minus q. Here R maximum by R minimum already they have been given here as 3 by 1 is equals to, so P plus Q by P minus Q. On solving this, which we can get the answer. Cross multiplication, which I can get here as 3P minus 3Q, which is equals to P plus Q. With the help of this, if it move toward this side, we can get here as 2P is equals to, if it toward that side, plus, which is nothing but 4Q. So P equals to 2Q. So 2 1 2 2s. So relation between them is nothing but P is equals to 2Q. Next question. The resultant of two forces 2P and root 2P is root 10P. The angle between the two forces. Here they are asking angle between the two forces. So they have been given F1, they have been given F2, they have been given, and resultant force also they have been given. We should have to find the angle between them. So with the help of this, from parallelogram law of vector, I can write here as F is equals to root of F1 square plus F2 square plus, which is nothing but 2F1 F2 cos theta. This theta value which we should have to find. So with the help of this, here what they have been given, we can consider here as F1 is equals to 2P and F2 is equals to, I can get here as root 2 into P, and then resultant force is nothing but root 10 into P they have been given. So we should have to find out the value of theta. So squaring on both sides, which I can get here as F square. So with the help of this, F square is equals to F1 square plus F2 square plus 2F1 F2 cos theta. So what's the value of F? So F square means 10 into P square. What's the value of F1? 4P square. What's the value of F2? 2P square plus 2 into F1. F1 value is 2P into F2. F2 value is root 2 into P. So here we should have to find out theta value. In all this, which we can take P square as a common, and then they will get cancelled. So with the help of this, 10 is equals to 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, 4. 4 root 2 into cos theta. 4 plus 2 is nothing but 6. So 10 minus 6 is equals to 4 root 2 into cos theta, which we can get. With the help of this, here I can write here as 4 is equals to 4 root 2 cos theta. 4 root 2 cos theta. 4 gets cancelled. So cos theta is equals to 1 by root 2. When we are going to get 1 by 2, that's which is nothing but, so theta is equals to cos inverse of 1 by root 2. So that's value is nothing but 45 degrees. Okay ma, next question. If magnitude of resultant of two vectors equal of magnitude is equals to the magnitude of either of the two vectors, so what is the angle between them? So what is the angle between them? So in this question they have been given equal magnitudes, which is nothing but P is equals to Q. Resultant is nothing but R. That's R maximum, which we have been proved. So with the help of this, we have been proved R is equals to 2P cos theta by 2, which we have been proved. So here equal magnitude is equals to the magnitude of the either vectors. So again this is equals to either P or either Q, that which they have been given it as r. Then what is the angle between them? Here r is equals to p, which we can take. So p is equals to 2p cos theta by 2. So pp gets cancelled, and most of the students, they will mistake here. So this is cos theta by 2. So these two we should not have to get cancelled. So if these two move toward this side, I can get here as cos theta by 2, which is equals to 1 by 2. So theta by 2 is equals to cos inverse of 1 by 2. So you should not make to get cancel this. So with the help of this, which I can get here as, so theta by 2, when we are going to get half means 60 degrees. So what I should have to find? Theta. Theta is equals to 60 degrees into 2. So theta is equals to 120 degrees. So answer is 1. These are some examples related to parallelogram law and then R maximum, R minimum whenever they are equal. Students, please subscribe my channel and like it, and then share to your friends, and then press the bell icon to receive the alerts. So thank you. Have a nice day.